Hey guys, Adam here from Thailand. Just wanted to talk to you today about the importance of lean muscle mass. A lot of you are asking me about protein and maintaining your lean muscle mass, and I just wanted to break it down a little bit more for you. And the best way that I can explain lean muscle mass in practical terms is like the engine in your car. And most of us have a body, which would be the car, but you want to have that engine, that metabolic rate behind you that is, determining how much fat that you burn at rest. All right, and the more lean muscle mass that we have on our bodies, the more body fat that you burn at rest. It would be like having a big car and a little engine when you're starting off trying to lose weight, because you haven't spent the time building the lean muscle mass. You don't have that high metabolic rate. You don't have that big engine behind you making sure that you're burning a lot of calories at rest. That's why it's really important in the beginning to track your calories, make sure you're bringing your calories down under control so that we can start seeing whether or not we're burning more than we consume. The other best thing that we need to think about in terms of your lean muscle mass is obviously your strength, muscle tone, but also the amount of energy that you'll have. Obviously, the more lean muscle mass that you have in your body doesn't have to work as hard to burn fat, but also you've got more muscle helping your joints, you've got more strength being able to help you get through everyday movements, so therefore you're going to have a lot more energy left over to do a lot of things that you need to do on a day-to-day basis. And for those of you that do lead busy lives, this is going to help and make things a lot easier. For women especially, lean muscle mass is really important, and it's something that I'm glad to see is becoming more and more prominent nowadays, because in the past a lot of females would be afraid of weight training, or they would be told that weight training was only for men. But the issue that a lot of females have is the older that they get, the higher estrogen levels get, which means the higher or the less bone density you have. So your bone density actually decreases. The more estrogen you have in your body, the less bone density you have. So it's really important to make sure that you're doing a lot of strength work so that those muscles are pulling on your bones, therefore your bones are always having to adapt. Therefore your bone density stays up a lot higher. Calcium will help to a little extent, but the only thing proven to actually maintain and increase bone density is strength training, and therefore having a good amount of lean muscle mass on your body is important as well. The other thing that you want to think about with all of this, and with having a lot of lean muscle mass and doing a lot of strength training, is your quality of life long term. So being able to do movements that you like to do on a day-to-day basis and being able to do them easily rather than losing the ability to do them. So for some of you that are getting a little bit older, getting up and down out of a low chair, up and down out of the car, being able to bend down and play with your kids or your grandkids, being able to do all those things and maintain that quality of life. If you still want to play golf, if you still want to run or play tennis and do all those things, the more lean muscle mass you have on your body and the better you've been able to maintain that over the years, the better that quality of life is going to be, and the better you're going to age, and the more awesome you're going to feel being able to still do all the things that you love, that make you feel good and that you like to participate in as you get a little bit older. Briefly, I talked about this the other day. When it comes to lean muscle mass, it's really important that if you are doing strength training, when I say strength training, I mean heavy load. So enough load where your body has to adapt to what it's doing. Bodyweight stuff is great, and it's always important because it's functional. That's what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. But if that's all you ever do, your body's going to get used to your body weight, and then it's going to stop getting the benefit from it after that. So it's really important that that load increases, or you change how the load is on the muscles. So with that in mind, we need to make sure that if we are loading our bodies up and we are trying to get a lot of lean muscle mass, that we need to be taking in enough protein to replenish that and make sure that we're either able to maintain it or rebuild and build upon a lot of the lean muscle mass that we're trying to get. And the best way to do that is with your protein. And for those of you who are vegetarians, or for those of you who have been starting to track your calories, your fats and your protein, if your protein has been a lot lower, you are going to find it hard to maintain lean muscle mass. You're going to find it hard to increase the amount of lean muscle mass that you have. So it's really important that you keep your protein high. And if you're trying to increase lean muscle mass, a good rule of thumb is it's about 2 grams of protein for every kilogram of body weight is what you should be aiming to have. If you're a guy and you're trying to build a little bit more muscle, it's about 2.2 to 2.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight is what you want to be aiming for. So when it comes to lean muscle mass, remember, you got to change up the load. The importance of lean muscle mass I've gone through before is you want that engine firing, and the best part about having more lean muscle mass on your body is that you're going to be burning more fat at rest. So the amount of fat that you're burning now is completely related to how much lean muscle mass you have. So the more lean muscle mass you have in the body, the higher the rate is of fat that you're going to burn at rest, which means you're not going to have to work as hard to keep your fat down. You're not going to have to work as hard to burn the same amount of calories. Therefore, achieving your goals and maintaining your fitness level and the amount of lean muscle mass and definition you have on your body is going to be a lot easier to maintain. So make sure you're doing your strength work.